Hey everyone, this is usually a none-on-one interview. This is like none on half a dozen interview. This is with the Las Cafeteras. They're East LA band, right?
And cutest band out of East LA.
Well, of course.
You be the judge.
And they're here in Chicago. They're doing a show tonight, or tomorrow. Saturday. April 9th at Talia Hall, which we were already talking about that. It's not Talia Hall, Talia Hall. It's what the locals say, but whatever. There's no accent. So anyway, so we're excited about seeing them perform here, and welcome to Chicago. And
hey, thank you.
Sorry it's not a little sunnier for you, or the weather's not a little better.
Yeah, it's kind of snowing.
Yeah, I know.
No one said that would happen.
Welcome to Chicago.
Have you looked at what Denise is wearing?
So
it's kind of she's kind of cool.
Want to talk about it?
But are you the one that has the dress, the Loteria?
I do have that
Which
dress.
I saw, which I was totally impressed with.
My mom made it.
Your mom made that?
Yes, you want one?
Does she? I'm not really the skirt wearing gay, but
Things change.
yeah, you never know. Maybe my luck is good.
You might want to have a Maryland moment one day, in the wind.
Yeah. So you make a lot of fashion, or where does your fashion come from? I want to talk about that.
I don't know. I like a lot of different colors. I like a lot of different style, and my mom has been sewing stuff for me since I was a baby. She's been sewing since she was like 12, and so I like really showcasing her talent and her art. When I was growing up, she worked at a sweatshop near our home, and so she did a lot of work for big corporations. So she just really loves being able to do her craft and have me show it off, and I think it's important to like show your culture, also your pride in what you wear.
What about your sister being the right girl too? Like
Yes.
that influencing you?
She likes a lot of eyeliner.
And you worked at a LGBT center, right?
Yeah, I ran the Gender and Sexuality Center at Cal State LA for about 6 years. So we did a lot of programming. I'm also a clinical social worker, so I did a lot of work like counseling, mental health. But yeah, I mean, the LGBT world is constantly changing. Labels, identities, expression, constantly changing. So it's a good place, right, to have people celebrate who they are, but also have an understanding of differences in life. And so I know, a lot of times we talk about LGBT concerns through tragedies, and I think it's important to talk about it in a more empowering, celebratory way.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you guys put a little bit in your music, right? You've talked about gay marriage and.
Oh, big time, yeah. There's a song, Señor Presidente, which is an old school Afro-Mexican song, son jarocho song. We remixed it and we rewrote our own lyrics. So it's a really, at every show we do this song called Señor Presidente, where we'll ask the audience what they would do if they're president. And it's amazing the responses we get from across the country of what people would do if they had the chance to make the country better. But there's also points where we get to say what we would do. So I think at the time when queer marriage wasn't passed in the United States, we say one, Señor Presidente, le vengo a avisar, pues yo quiero mi novio, y nos queremos casar, and I'm going, yeah. Basically means, Señor Presidente, I'm here to tell you that I'm in love with my boyfriend, and we want to get married. And I think in a time where gay marriage wasn't allowed, or something that was seen as normal, or accepted, I think that was something we really wanted to put out there in a very fun way. Instead of being hey, past gay marriage, it's like, nah. Actually, at the end of the day, it's really about relationships and love. Mm-hmm. So if you see two men who at the end of the day, we just love each other. Mm-hmm. And so we do that about, we talk about quality education, we talk about universal health care, all the things that we should have. Mm-hmm. And so gay marriage is one of those things that's not what we're trying to stop. We're trying to put for liberation of all people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so now that, in the United States we have that, we can keep on moving forward,
Yeah, definitely. Well, and this is Hector. We should introduce everyone, too.
What's up, everybody? Hector?
Hi, I'm Leah.
I'm Daniel. I'm Jose.
I'm Denise.
And I'm Denise.
Yes, and you guys have toured with Lila Downs and Oza Motley.
Yeah.
These, they have a lot of politics. They put politics into their music and things like that. So was that something you guys wanted to do from the beginning? And tell me about how you guys met, too, a little bit.
Well, it was really an organic process. The way that we know each other is through doing, activist-oriented work, community organizing, going to school together. And so for us, it's important to be storytellers of our communities, of our experiences, of our families, of what's happening in mainstream society. And so we don't necessarily say we're going to write a political song. We just write about what we're living and what we want. And so in that, again, organically we met this way, and we talked about what we'd like to see the world to be. We also write that in our music. And so I think it's a really, it's something universal that you don't just speak with Chicanos or Mexicanos with, but it's kind of everywhere we go, there's a community that wants to have a conversation.
Excellent. And so you have a La Bamba version of La Bamba, right?
Yeah.
Level.
Yeah.
So where did that come from, and you guys want that in there?
Go for it, French. I'd speak too much.
No,
Way too
it's
much,
all
way too
good.
much.
Speak too much. So La Bamba, it's a famous song that you heard from Richie Valens. It's a rock and roll version from back in the 50s. But La Bamba comes from, it's a black Mexican song that comes from the Gulf Coast of Mexico, state of Veracruz. So Richie Valens was playing a rock and roll song off of a traditional song, right? Where they play these kinds of guitars called jaranas. And, of course, we grew up hearing the old school version, the Richie Valens version, and we were learning this traditional music at a community center called the Eastside Cafe. And so we were playing this traditional stuff, and with time we were talking about singing traditional verses. There's hundreds of old school verses, but Son Jarocho, this traditional music, is really all about improv. It's kind of like hip hop. You might be playing, and all of a sudden you decide to make fun of someone's shoes, or tell someone over there that you like them, or talk about how the bird that's flying overhead reminds you of what it was like back home. So it's all metaphors and telling stories. And so we said, well, we're here in LA playing music from the Gulf Coast of Mexico. Most of us at that point had not even been to that area yet. We've since gone and learned some music from those folks. But we said, how do we tell our stories through this song? And then what does that look like to let ourselves just be ourselves, tapping into this traditional music? And so then we started talking about growing up in Los Angeles, or the regions we grew up in, or the things we care about. We have the song is actually a theme song for a telenovela.
Okay.
On Telemundo, they have a show called Bajo el Mismo Cielo. Okay. And it's about an undocumented man. And they use one of our choruses in La Bamba, our version of La Bamba, is Yo no creo en fronteras, yo cruzaré, yo cruzaré. I don't believe in borders, I'm gonna cross. And so I think that it kind of speaks to the bigger picture of Las Cafeteras, where more than trying to build walls and border walls, or even the walls that separate communities, whether it's LGBTQ and straight folks, or whether it's black and brown or white or Asian or whoever, native, we're trying to say, look, we have a lot in common as humans. We share a lot. And if you can let go of some of those labels for a minute, man, you'd be surprised at how much we can relate at a heart level. And then from there, let's dance. You know what I'm saying? Let's just dance and be human for a while. And then, now that we're human, now let's talk about these issues that we care about, right? Maybe we can listen better and build that bridge, that musical bridge to each other. So for us, the Why La Bamba, it's kind of well, it's part of where we come from, but it's also the song that came to us at that time when we were trying to build a bridge.
So seeing you guys live must be so
Come
much
on.
fun. It's a big party. It's got to be a big party, right?
Are you coming or what?
We got tickets.
Okay. All right. I'll be there. Yeah. This is a great space too. It's actually a fairly new space in Chicago, and it's just great. It's right in Pilsen and just in the heart of everything.
Yeah, where it should be.
It's gonna be some good food over there too. And your parents. Well, I think about maybe your parents must be so proud of you guys for holding on to tradition, and things like that. There must be, right?
Well, I majored in engineering, so to give up an engineering job to play music, my parents were a little bit scared of that. I don't promise that I would.
Depends how Mexican you are.
That's true. But I think in terms of of where we've come and where we're at now and the amount of distance we've traveled,
Let's just say, if we weren't on a telenovela, they wouldn't be that happy. Okay. All right.
That's the pinnacle.
What are you guys doing after this? What's your plan for the rest of the year, and what are you guys?
We're gonna have lunch after this.
I'm at 2016.
Should I share, JC?
We're releasing an album in the fall of 2016. This year, we'll be releasing our second album. It's a lot of fun. It's a good mix. It's a lot of originals, sort of straying away from the traditional music that our first album has a lot of. So that's in the mix. We're also touring all the time, so we'll be heading after Talia Hall. Is that how you say it?
How the locals say it.
We'll be going to Missouri,
Okay.
St. Louis, Missouri. We'll be going to Maryland, Texas, Boston. So touring all over all the time. You can find out more information at lascafeteras.com.
Which is a great website. I mean, actually, it looks
thanks.
professional. Whoever's.
It's kind of cute, huh?
I think
It's
so.
kinda cute.
You know, it's not like slapped together. It's well, I'm gonna have you guys do a song, right? You guys, what song is this gonna be? What's it called?
La Bamba.
damn.
Oh, so you're doing it?
Yes,
Oh,
we're doing it.
Okay, so I'm gonna get out of the way. And you guys, you know.
Ay, es la bamba, señores. Es la bamba, señores. La melodía que nos pone en el alma. Que nos pone en el alma mucha alegría. Y arriba, y arriba. Y arriba, y arriba, y arriba. Iré como las cafeteras. Como las cafeteras. Yo lucharé, yo cantaré, yo bailaré. Ya no llores, Corona. Ya no llores, Corona. Mi gente lucha contra leyes racistas. Contra leyes racistas en Arizona. Allá arriba, allá arriba, va. Allá arriba, allá arriba, allá arriba. Yo no soy de la migra. Yo no soy de la migra. Ni quiero ser, ni quiero ser, ni quiero ser.
Yay!